In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can use ChatGPT to understand complex topics, such as understanding a math topic or a science topic. So without further ado, I will share my screen and go over how you can use ChatGPT to help you explore. So this demystifying the difficult, how AI tutors can help you master any subject. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Professor H Writing Channel. Today we're diving into the world of artificial intelligence and how it can be your secret weapon for conquering those tricky subjects. Let's face it, sometimes textbooks throw complex information at us like it's written in a whole other language. Math equations turn into hieroglyphics, and science concepts seem like something out of a sci-fi movie. We've all been there, feeling lost and discouraged. But fear not, fellow travelers. There's a new superpower in town. AI tutors like ChatGPT or Gemini. These are superpowered language models that can break down complex topics into simpler terms. Think of them as your personal online tutors, ready to explain things in a way your brain can actually grasp. Imagine you're struggling with a confusing math equation. Simply upload a picture or type it into the AI tutor, and poof, it breaks it down step by step by explaining each part in plain English. Suddenly, that intimidating equation starts to make sense. The same goes for science concepts. No more memorizing tongue-twister vocabulary. The AI simplifies it, making it easier to understand and remember. Imagine you're struggling with a confusing math equation. So here's why AI tutors are a game changer. By simplifying complex information, AI tutors can help you truly understand the concepts, not just memorize them. As you grasp the material, your confidence soars. You'll approach difficult subjects with a newfound sense of empowerment. AI tutors can tailor their explanations to your learning style, making it a truly personalized experience. Can't decipher a complex diagram? Upload a picture and let the AI explain it in words you understand. AI tutors aren't meant to replace your teachers or textbooks, but they're amazing tools to enhance your learning. They're like having a 24/7 study partner who's always patient and willing to explain things until you get it. So the next time you're stuck on a challenging topic, remember the power of AI tutors. Give AI tutors like ChatGPT or Gemini a try. You might be surprised at how much easier learning becomes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to show you how you can use ChatGPT to make a very complex idea much simpler. Basically, you just put into the prompt, explain this topic as you would a 5-year-old, or explain this topic as if I was a 5-year-old. Explain this topic in second grade English, that sort of thing. And so then what ChatGPT will do is then it will use much simpler English. That's the beauty of ChatGPT, is that it can simplify the English, and you can tell ChatGPT that you need it explained in second grade English, or you need it explained in first grade English. And so when you do that, then you can understand the language at your level of understanding. So let's give it a try. I'm going to try to go to, I have to go to share, okay. And this is Gemini. So let's say I'm going to find, okay, before I go to Gemini, I'll go to Google Scholar. Let's go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a great place to find, Google Scholar is a great place to do your research on any subject. But sometimes the articles or the scholarly articles in Google Scholar can be very hard to follow. So let's find something about explain climate change and global warming. I just chose any topic off the top of my head, okay? Or explain global, okay, how about this? Yeah, okay, explain climate change. Then you're going to get all of these articles that are, let's choose this one just for the heck of it. So here you have an article, and let's say you don't understand. Let's come to a part that's a bit difficult. Okay, the last 20 years have seen a large amount of social science and research on climate change views, a term encompassing beliefs, attitudes, policy preferences, and behavioral intentions related to climate change. This literature, which as of early 2016 includes over 140 empirical studies, primarily focused on climate change views, draws mostly from sociology and psychology, but also work from political science, communication, anthropology, and economics. Most of this research utilizes some form of correlational or regression analysis of survey data, though about 36 studies report the results of messaging or framing experiments. Further, the majority of survey studies focus specifically on a single country, while explicitly cross-national research is sparse. US-based studies account for approximately 3/4 of all published survey research through multiple sources, multiple studies on other Anglo countries like United Kingdom and Australia have been published in recent years. Scholars have published important views of key areas of the literature, aggregate or mass opinion patterns and trends, predictors of climate change skepticism, psychologically based research, messaging or framing experiments, and the comprehensive reviews cover those survey-based studies. Okay, I didn't read everything, but anyway, so let's say you don't understand any of this. So you can then copy and paste. That's good enough. Okay, let's just copy and paste those two. And then I'm going to put it in this case, I'm putting it into Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, you could use Gemini, you could use ChatGPT, it's the same thing. So I'm going to put it in here, and then you would write, explain this climate change article in simple English that a 5-year-old would understand. Okay, and then you cut and paste the article that you were reading. So you don't put the whole article. You put like one paragraph at a time. Otherwise it's too big, okay? So one paragraph at a time. Let's hope this is not too big. And then you press submit. So this little button means submit. And now it's thinking. So you got to wait for it to finish thinking. And so here it's going to try to explain what I just read to you about climate change. And the good thing about Gemini, it shows different drafts. So this article talks about a big topic called climate change, which is about the Earth's weather getting hotter. Lots of grown-ups who study science have been talking about this for a long time. Imagine Earth is like a big bowl of soup. Normally the soup is nice and warm, not too hot, not too cold. But climate change is like someone turning up the heat on the stove under the soup bowl, and it's making Earth a little hotter than usual. This article is like a report card for all the grown-ups who've been studying climate change. It says that they've been doing a great job learning about it, but there's still more to discover. And so notice how they say grown-ups, mainly because I wrote that a 5-year-old would understand. Okay, here is a shorter draft. Okay, if you want a shorter draft, this article talks about grown-ups studying how people feel about climate change. Climate change is like the Earth getting too hot and sick. A lot of grown-ups have been asking other grown-ups questions about how they feel about the Earth getting too hot. They learned that most of the questions were asked, and most of the studies were done in one country, like the United States, and that does not represent the climate of all the other countries around the world. So the article wants to know more about why Earth is getting so hot. So notice how this is for like a 5-year-old. Now, if I were to say something like, explain climate change as if I was a teenager, okay? I'm older now, so it shouldn't say grown-ups, grown-ups, grown-ups. And then you put in the same difficult whatever. So imagine Earth is like a giant greenhouse. Sunlight warms it up, but some of the heat gets trapped, like when you leave a car parked in the sun. Normally, Earth gets rid of some heat, but here's the problem. Burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, releases extra heat-trapping gas into the atmosphere, acting like a thick blanket. Think of all the cars and factories pumping out fumes. Deforestation cuts down trees that absorbs that heat-trapping gas. Fewer trees, more heat stuck around. The result, climate change. It's causing more extreme weather, stronger storms, hotter summers, colder winters, unpredictable rainfall messing with crops, melting glaciers and ice caps, flood coastal cities, displacing millions, warming oceans, harming marine life and coral reefs. This is a big deal for our future. The good news, we can still make a difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Less waste means less burning of fossil fuels. Support renewable energy. Solar, wind, and geothermal power are cleaner options. Speak up. Demand action from companies and government. Together we can fight climate change and ensure a healthy planet for ourselves and future generations. It's not hopeless. It's a challenge and we can rise to it. So notice the difference in English level. Here you have the English level of someone that's a 5-year-old, okay? I don't have it here. Yeah, the article talks about grown-ups, okay? So this one was when I said in the prompt, explain the climate change as if I'm 5 years old, and here you explain climate change as if I'm, a teenager. Oh, and then another cool aspect of it is, if you don't feel like reading, let's say you're tired or something like that, you click on this thing over here, and it will read it to you, okay? It will read it for you. And so if I click on this, hopefully you can hear it. Give it a second.
Forget that first paragraph. It's for grown-ups in research. Here's the climate change deal for teens. Imagine Earth is like a giant greenhouse. Sunlight warms it up, but some of that heat gets trapped, like when you leave a car parked in the sun. Normally, Earth gets rid of some heat, but here's the problem. Burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, releases extra heat-trapping gas into the atmosphere, acting like a thicker...
Well, you get the idea. So that way, when you are, so you can actually have it read it to you, which is pretty cool. And then if you want to share this with people, you can push this button and it will make a link, and then you can link it and give it to people. So I will stop the sharing and let's see if I can go back to, so this is the original article, and then it made the very complex subject much easier to understand. So that's for me. So for me, that's the beauty of not social media. That's the beauty of using this kind of ChatGPT AI, because then if you don't understand what it means, you could just ask AI any time of the day, and then suddenly, all that, the jargon suddenly makes sense. It even can do it for a second grader, okay, saying grown-ups and the earth getting too hot. It doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree with climate change. What matters is that you take any topic and ChatGPT can make it simpler. That was the point. I could have chosen any other topic, but that just happens to came off the top of my head. So basically, what I want you to get from this video, and this is what my students love most about ChatGPT, is that if they're taking a biology class, if they're taking a chemistry class, if they're taking a physics class or a math class, and the ideas just seem so esoteric, then you stick some of it into ChatGPT and you tell ChatGPT what level of English you want it to. It can also do French too. So if you're a French person, if you're a Spanish person, you can ask it to explain it in your native language. So let's say English isn't your first language, and you understand things better in Spanish, for instance. Then you can ask ChatGPT, explain this to me as if I'm a 5-year-old Spanish person in Spanish. And it will then give you 5-year-old Spanish. Okay, it can literally anybody can understand something from Google Scholar. Okay, and so I always advise my students to use Google Scholar, not ChatGPT, to find their sources. And then if they don't understand what the Google Scholar says, then you stick the whatever it is, like we just did, cut and paste it into ChatGPT, or in this case, Gemini. I use Gemini. Gemini has different drafts. That's why I use Gemini more than I use ChatGPT, which is probably why it was on my computer, and I was trying to look for ChatGPT, but okay, whatever. So I decided to just do it for this video. I decided to stick with with Gemini. So this ends this video on how you can use ChatGPT or AI to help you break down complex topics into smaller chunks, into easier English. And if you're ESL or you don't speak English as your first language, you can do it for that as well. And it can translate. So it can translate into English. And if you're too tired to listen, to read, you can listen to it reading it for you. And this is great for ESL students who want to improve their pronunciation. But I'm going to make a whole nother video about how AI can help ESL students. In fact, I wrote a whole book about it, but I'm about to publish that soon. So I will let you know about what that book is. In the meantime, okay, so look out for my new book, which is going to be called ESL and Language Learning in the Age of AI, ChatGPT, Unleashed by ChatGPT by Yvonne Ho. So that's going to be my second and third book that I'm publishing. Currently, the book that I have written that's already on Amazon is known as Writing in the Age of AI, ChatGPT, Unleashed by ChatGPT. You got to do the whole title, and then you can go to Amazon and buy it. And I go over a lot of other tips on how you can use AI to make your learning easier. In the meantime, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time.